A drink with friends in a pub or bar. That may seem a distant memory for some during the coronavirus lockdown, but the World Health Organization is urging people across Europe to avoid drinking too much alcohol while they're stuck indoors. According to the WHO, alcohol is responsible for 3 million deaths a year worldwide. A third of those occur in Europe. On average, the region has the highest alcohol intake and the highest number of drinkers in the population, as well as most deaths caused by alcohol. Here in the UK, Alcoholics Anonymous usually has about 5,000 face-to-face meetings a week to help problem drinkers. COVID-19 has stopped those, so support has shifted online and over the phone.
The number inquired about meetings has gone up by over 300% in the course of this outbreak. But that again is just people trying to find ways to engage because the traditional methods of engagement are not readily available.
On the other hand, businesses that rely on selling alcohol are also facing their own challenges. Michael Campbell is the founder of Breton Rosé and says an uptick in business recently has been bittersweet given the global health crisis.
On one hand, you've got restaurants, on-trade, restaurants, bars, etc. And that business has gone to zero, so it's dropped by 100%. So what the industry has had to do is to be a little bit innovative, and that requires refocusing the efforts into off-trade, so bottle shops, and then direct to consumers. And that's where we've seen huge spikes in volumes.
The UK's lockdown initially coincided with warm weather and the Easter public holidays, which Michael thinks added to demand. As people become accustomed to life indoors, that may taper off.
I will maintain that there's a huge mental health side to this pandemic and lockdown. We're a very social beast and we like to engage. There is a big pub culture, as you mentioned, in the UK. And so now what we're doing is we're bringing the pub and that social interaction to home.
Most stakeholders promote responsible drinking and say people should be mindful of how much they consume.
People underestimate the damage that alcohol can cause. Problem drinking and alcoholism affects the lives of families and indeed entire communities.
With no clear vaccine for COVID-19, lockdowns may become a more normal part of our lives in the future. Public health officials say we should moderate how much we drink, and the wider alcohol industry, like so many, is being transformed by this global pandemic.